Hello students, welcome to English class. Today we will discuss the poem Taj Mahal written by Rabindranath Tagore. I think in history you have learned of Taj Mahal. Okay, what is Taj Mahal? Okay, Taj Mahal is a monument built by Shah Jahan for the memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. So you have already learned it. So now this poem Taj Mahal also is about that Taj Mahal, that monument built by Shah Jahan. So while Rabindranath Tagore saw this Taj Mahal, the thoughts that came to his mind are given here in the form of a poem. Okay, so it's a simple poem, short poem. There isn't anything difficult. We can understand it easily. So we will come to the poem. So before the poem, as introduction, it is given, Taj Mahal is considered as one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's a work of art that excels time and history. The following lines are from Tagore's poem Shah Jahan. In this poem, Tagore speaks of the immortal creation, the Taj Mahal, and the timeless appeal of that great monument. It's a monument built by Shah Jahan for the memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. So the thoughts that came to Tagore's mind. Okay, so we'll come to the poem. So read the first 5 lines. You knew Emperor of India Shah Jahan, that life, youth, wealth, renown all float away down the stream of time. Your only dream was to preserve forever your heart's pain. Okay, so we'll come to the lines in detail. So you knew Emperor of India Shah Jahan. As you have learned in history, Shah Jahan was one of the emperors of India. Then certain things are referred there. Which are the things referred there? Life of Shah Jahan, youth, wealth, renown. Renown stands for fame. So these things related to the life of a person, life itself, youth, wealth, fame, everything, all float away down the stream of time. All float away down the stream of time. So our life is considered as a stream. Our life is a stream here. And our life, youth, wealth, fame, everything float down in this stream. That is in our life, in stream of time. See, what happens to a stream? What happens to a stream? Okay, we know a stream flows and flows and reaches a sea. And while it reaches a sea, what happens to it? It becomes part of the sea. And then we cannot see the river there. The river becomes part of the sea. And we can say, in a sense, the river is seen no more. So, in the case of our life also it is like that. Our life is like a stream. Our life will continue for a certain period, and afterwards we will die. Like a stream joins a sea and becomes invisible, our life also after our death will not be seen here. So the things referred there, life, youth, wealth, renown. All these things will disappear after some time. Okay, your only dream was to preserve forever your heart's pain. While Shah Jahan built this Taj Mahal, what was his dream? Or why did he build this Taj Mahal? It was to preserve forever. It was to keep forever your heart's pain. Now, can you say what's the heart's pain of Shah Jahan? Okay, the death of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. So, while his wife died, Shah Jahan thought of building a monument that will remain here forever, because he knew very well that his fame, his wealth, everything will disappear after some time. So even after his death, the people should think of his love to his wife, and for that he built this Taj Mahal. Okay, then the harsh thunder of imperial power would fade into sleep like a sunset's crimson splendor. The harsh thunder of imperial power. What is the harsh thunder of imperial power mentioned here? Can you say? Okay, that refers to the power of a king, the power of a ruler. So while an emperor rules here, while a king rules over here, he will be very powerful. Everyone will obey him. But what happens to it? The harsh thunder of imperial power, the power of a king, would fade into sleep. That also will disappear after some time, like a sunset's crimson splendor. So all of you have seen sunset and the bright color that we see during sunset. So that color makes everything attractive. That's a very appealing scene to our eyes. Everyone will be attracted by that light. But what happens to it? We know that the crimson splendor, that greatness, that brightness of that sunset will end very soon. It won't remain for a long time. So likewise, the power of a ruler will disappear or will go after some time. So what did Shah Jahan do? He built this monument. What's that monument? Taj Mahal. Okay. But it was your hope that at least a single eternally heaved sigh would stay to grieve the sky. It was his hope. In the previous part we saw it was his dream. That is, something should preserve, something should remain here forever. And here it is told that it was his hope. What was his hope? At least a single eternally heaved sigh. What is the single eternally heaved sigh referred here? That is Taj Mahal. Would stay to grieve the sky. That would stay here forever. To grieve the sky. That means everyone who sees this monument will understand the beauty of Taj Mahal. But more than that, they will think of the love of Shah Jahan to his wife. So, and they also will become sad while they also think of the death of Mumtaz Mahal. Then, though emerald, rubies, pearls are all but as the glitter of a rainbow trickling out empty air and must pass away. Emeralds, rubies, pearls. So we know that all these things referred there are precious stones. Emerald, a precious stone that is green in color. Ruby, a precious stone that is red in color. And other precious stones you have learned: sapphire, precious stones blue in color, and topaz that is yellowish in color. Okay, whatever it is, all these things referred there are examples of precious stones: emeralds, rubies, pearls. And what's the condition of all these things? Are all but as the glitter of a rainbow. You have seen rainbow, and you know that, or we all agree that rainbow is very beautiful. It is very nice to see. What is this rainbow that you have learned in your science? Okay, actually, is there anything like that in the sky? No, it is mentioned that trickling out empty air. So you know that while light passes through a water vapor, that seven colors form. That is really rainbow. There is nothing, no object like a rainbow that you can see there. So the wealth of a person, or the precious stones we have, all these things will disappear after some time. All these things are transient. All these things referred there are, or that all these things will remain here only for a short period. It won't live here. It won't be seen here for ever, for all the time. Then, so though emeralds, rubies, pearls are all but as the glitter of rainbow, trickling out empty air and must pass away. Yet, still one solitary tear would hang on the cheek of time in the form of this white and gleaming Taj Mahal. One solitary tear, teardrop. Solitary means a single tear drop would hang on the cheek of time. That would remain here in the form of this white and gleaming Taj Mahal. So we know that teardrop is a sign of sorrow. Okay, so according to Tagore, this Taj Mahal, this monument, will remain here like a teardrop. And while we see a teardrop, we also become sad, because we know that it's a symbol of sorrow and pain. Okay, so that's the poem Taj Mahal. And as we have mentioned, the poet is describing a number of things that are transient, that will remain here only for a short period of time. While we think of humans, his life, that's only for a short period here. Even though he is very rich, even though he is very famous, all these things are here only for a short period. By the death of the person, everything will disappear. And even in the case of a ruler, in the case of a king, the power of a king or a ruler, that also will end very soon. And the richness, the precious stones we have, we possess, that also won't remain with us forever. All these things are transient. All these things are here only for a short period of time. But such a monument like Taj Mahal, that will remain here forever. And that is the idea of Shah Jahan. All the people who sees this Taj Mahal should understand, should think of the love of Shah Jahan to his wife Mumtaz Mahal. And that's why he built this monument Taj Mahal. That's the idea that came to Tagore's mind while he wrote this poem. Okay. Then, in order to think of the some of the poetic devices used here, so mainly two similes are used. Two similes. The first one, this one. The harsh thunder of imperial power would fade into sleep like a sun sets crimson splendor. The imperial power, the power of a king, is compared to sunset. Why is it compared to sunset? As we have mentioned, sunset, the beauty of sunset will remain only here for a short period. Likewise, the power of a ruler also will remain here only for a short period. So actually, the poet wants to show us the transitions of imperial power. The short, we saw that it's only for a short period. And he feels that it is, if he just tells that, we listeners won't understand it clearly. So he compares it to an object which is familiar to us. That is, we know that sunset, the crimson splendor of sunset, that's only for a short period. So in simile, you can easily understand that one thing is compared to another using the word like or as, as. So if it's a simile, there will be either of these words, either like or as. So here the thing compared is imperial power of a king. It is compared to sunset's crimson splendor, and we discuss why is it compared so. And one more simile is used here, this one. Though emeralds, rubies, pearls are all but as the glitter of a rainbow, tricking out empty air. Here the word as. So what is compared here? These precious stones are compared. Precious stones like emerald, ruby, pearl, etc. It is compared to glitter of a rainbow. That also we discussed. What's the speciality of a rainbow? That also is remaining only for a short period. So the richness also will remain here only for a short period. So these precious stones are compared to glitter of a rainbow using the word as. The first simile, the word used was like. So in simile, there will be the use of either like or as. Okay, so two similes are used here. Then a number of images are used there, mainly visual images. I think we have discussed it, or you have learned it in earlier classes, visual image. What's the meaning of that? While we read through some of the words, we get a feel that we see it. So that is visual. And if we get a feel that we listen to a sound, that is auditory image. So here mainly examples of visual images and auditory images. A number of visual images are there. You can say rainbow, emerald, ruby, then teardrop, sky, and likewise so many examples are used here. Okay, then auditory image, that is something related to sound. Harsh thunder of imperial birth. So while we say thunder, we get a feel that we listen to the sound of thunder. Okay, so images are used there. Then alliteration. What is alliteration? Repetition of the consonant sound. So look at this sentence, like a sunset's crimson splendor. This word is sunset. What's the first sound there? S sound. Splendor also S sound. So the same line, two words with the same initial S sound. The first initial sound means the first sound, consonant sound. So repetition of consonant sound is alliteration. A-L-L-I-T-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. Okay, will you keep it in mind? Keep the word alliteration. A-L-L-I-T-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. What is alliteration? Repetition of the consonant sound, initial sound. That is, it should be in the same line. There should be two or more words beginning with the same consonant sound. So here S sound, here also S sound. Okay, or in this line, single sound is there. Stay, say sound is there. Sigh, sound is there. Okay, but likewise, any consonant sound repeated can be an example of alliteration. Okay, so now what you have to do is after reading the poem 2-3 times, try to write down the answers of the questions given here. Okay, as we have discussed it, I think you will be able to write, and also in this part pick out instances of similes from the poem we have discussed, and here you can write examples of visual images. That means while you read the words, which are the words that you see before you, auditory, that is you listen to some sound, auditory images. And here write down words from the poem related to transience and eternity. Transience we have seen, that is something that is remaining only for a short period. Afterwards it will disappear. So the words that show transience. Then eternity, something that remains for ever. Okay, so that's the poem Taj Mahal. So make sure that you read it many times first. You read the line, read the poem many times, and then try to solve the answers. Okay, so we will see you next day. Thank you.